All right, what's up, guys? Josh Keller here with the REI Marketing Weekly, and this is the Who's Crushing It segment. And today I've got the man himself, Max Keller. This guy was actually my first brand that I ever designed, and one of my first video projects. I think you might have been my second. Gary was probably my first. So anyway, Max is doing some really incredible stuff right now. He's a outside the box type thinker, and so what I'm going to have him talk about today is definitely outside the box that not very many people think about. So that's why I have him on here, right? So Max, I'm going to have him introduce himself, but what we're going to talk about is customers chasing you. So yes, this is for active real estate investors as well. Max has been an active real estate investor for 5 years. Has it been 5 years?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, something like that. So Max, I'm going to hand you the mic, introduce yourself, but then let's just jump right into this topic and I'll ask questions as we go along.
Perfect. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Max Keller. I'm here. Customers chasing you. I have a company, Save Your Publishing House. I write lead generation books, and I really didn't know that was ever going to happen. I'm dyslexic. I actually didn't even really read a lot of books growing up, but then when I got into real estate, I started reading, and then what was happening for me was I was, last 3 years flipped about 100 houses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now I'm buying and selling mobile homes in 5 states. And, what I realized was I was sending out a lot of direct mail, as a lot of people in
everybody else.
Yeah, a lot of people in the space, whether you're watching and you're, realtor, investor. So I was sending out a lot of direct mail. And, it was just kind of getting shuffled in with all the other pieces of mail. And that was like a problem because I knew there were some things that I brought to the table that were different, but it's just really hard to differentiate yourself in a postcard or a 45-minute appointment. So, what I did was I made a list of my favorite customers. I got to about deal 50 and I was sort of feeling burnt out. So I don't know, does anybody here feeling burnt out? I mean, if you don't, you've done a lot of deals, you're probably lying. Don't lie. This is a safe place.
Especially if you're putting as much effort into marketing as most people are.
Yeah.
Those deals are hard to come by.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. I'm here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and it was nuts. I had marketing scorecards. I was calculating, your return on marketing investment, leads, conversions, appointments, and all that stuff. Here's the thing. For me, I wanted to have a relationship business. Not everybody wants that. Some people just want to, trade stocks on Wall Street and make money and it be faceless. Cool. Transactional. And you can still make money doing that. And if it's working for you and that's what you like, cool. It's just not what I wanted. I didn't want the homeowner that I was buying the house from to be like a necessary evil, or somebody who just, gets in the way or causes me to do more work.
That's finally break down like, oh, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, like that's the way a lot of people talk.
Yeah.
I never felt that way. I wanted to help these people. I was a teacher before I got into real estate. I taught math for 7 years. So I like teaching and educating, and I felt like there was a lot of people who needed help. So what I did that got me results, and when I mean results that were far exceeded what I was getting before. Not just from a profit standpoint, but a fulfillment. You want to go to work and feel good about what you did with your work. And you can do both. You can make money too. So what I did is I created, I made a list of my 50 customers, and I put which transactions I was involved in that were the most profitable, and I also put which ones I enjoyed the most, and it was seniors. And I think the reason that it was because, my grandma took care of me growing up and I took care of her. So I like working with seniors. But the reason it was more profitable deals is because I was providing more value. You get paid for the value. So, with the seniors, I was with them for 4 or 5 hours, helping them figure out their house. A lot of times I was helping them find somewhere else to live, like a senior housing facility. I was introducing them to different resources. So, that was just, I like doing that. So I was like, how could I do more of it? So what I did was I wrote a book, Home to Home. You can check it out on Amazon, or if you send...
I'll have it linked below in the description.
Yeah, hey, how about I do this? Why don't I do a free gift to your viewers?
That'd be awesome, man.
But you got to wait till the end. I'll tell you what it is. But don't let me forget. You won't let me forget?
I won't let you forget.
I got a free gift. You're going to like it. So the point is I made a book for my seniors, and it was basically like all the stuff that I would teach them when I was in their living room, but I just couldn't be in everybody's living room for 4 or 5 hours. So I put it in a book. So here's what I would challenge y'all to do. Think about like I hear people say, I got these customers and they're hard to deal with. Well, yeah, no kidding. They're going through foreclosure. That's pretty stressful, people. So instead of being like, hey, man, they're inconveniencing me. Why don't you invite them to a workshop and teach them all the ways they can stay? How about you send them a little book? There's a cool website called MiniBook. MINIBUK. Why don't you create a little mini book if you got all this real estate expertise and make it 21 ways to save your house from foreclosure, and let them read it, and they're going to call you up, not mad. They're going to be like, thank you. And then they're going to be like, oh, by the way, we decided that we're not going to do one of those 21 and we want to sell it to you because you're upfront and legit. Invite them to a workshop, teach them something. So many people in this space have incredible skills when it comes to interruption. Right. And interruption marketing is important. You have to get somebody's attention. But then what do you do with the attention? So my philosophy and what's getting me results, and I have my book program. If you go to customerschasing.com, you can check it out or get on our list, and we can get you some kind of learning and documents and things to learn how this movement's going. What we do is we license our book across the nation. So there's real estate investors, and it seems like almost every city. We limit the number per city. Yeah. And but yeah, people co-author my book and then they use it in their community. But you don't have to write a book. You don't have to use my book. You can do something on your own. But I'm kind of like, if you really want customers chasing you, you have to give them something that everybody else isn't giving them. Right. So most of your customers have a thirst for knowledge. They need help. They want somebody who's really looking out for them. So weave that in, and you're going to set yourself, very, very far apart. I mean, that's what Robert Kiyosaki was saying when I got an award a couple weeks ago, and he was there and he was asking for a copy of my book. I was freaking out. I was like, Robert Kiyosaki's asking for a copy of my book? But but I didn't lead with, oh, I'm writing this book to make a lot of cash, or I'm going to write this book and take down all these houses. It was never about that. It was about, I'm trying to get to 1 million seniors and their adult children because I just can't be everywhere. And when you elevate your goals, Josh, above just you and your family, and it's about people that are outside of your family, people you're probably never even going to meet in your whole life, and God will bless you and incredible things will come into your life. And, that's just one of the many examples. I'll give you the mic. I'm a mic hog.
No, absolutely. So I think a couple things that you need to take away from this is Max gave his prime example of the book, and I've actually mentioned that on one of the, I think it was one of my segments where I give you guys a tip at the beginning of the newsletter. But he gave his example about the book, but I think the concept that you guys need to be focused on is delivering the value, which is where a lot of times just content marketing comes in, because a lot of straight up content marketing is just delivering value and nothing else. It's not selling them on anything. It's not, giving a call to action and all that stuff. It's just straight value.
Give me that microphone. Yeah, so basically exactly what he said. But hey, I want to say one thing, because I got some ADHD or something. I forget. It's not my fault, officer. No, but in all seriousness, okay, a lot of people, they give some content away, but they know in their heart it's just so they can get a deal. So, yeah. And here's what I'm saying, people. Listen, please listen. Okay, people know what's truly in your heart. Mm-hmm. Check what's in your heart. People can sense your true motivations. Yeah. You can't cover them up with just messages. If your true heart is to help people and serve first in your heart, not the messaging, but in your heart, people pick up on that. Sure. But no matter what you put in your messaging, if you don't really believe that in your heart, and it's not genuine, it'll come out. So just make sure you have both. But make sure that that's in there, otherwise it won't work. And then you'll call saying, Josh, it didn't work. Get that guy off the show. I'm not watching your stuff. It's got to be in your heart too. Okay, I'll give it back. I'm sorry. I broke the rules.
It's so true, though. It's so true. And we'll wrap this up here in just a second. But yeah, when you get to the concept of customers chasing you, you got to get out of that transactional mindset. I mean, transactional works.
Of course,
it works. There's people that make money on it.
It's okay.
The number one thing that I think though is
I'm
that
not a hater.
Right. I think the number one thing that with transactional though is that it's a lot of like just grinding it out and then failing, and then grinding it out and then failing, and then grinding it out and failing. Yeah,
nobody's sending you any referrals.
And when you get into that game, I had John Martinez on here last week, and when you get into that game, as John likes to say, you don't want to get involved in a bidding war with somebody. And if for instance, if Max goes to this person's house, this elderly person's house, hands them a book, and then they set it right next to the stack of the 30 yellow letters that they have.
Not even close.
It doesn't matter if somebody's going to be offering them more, because Max built this relationship and delivered value and actually cared about what their pain point is, and then alleviating that pain point. And then they come after him, give him a call, and say, hey, we're going to disregard all these yellow letters that all look the same, and we're going to go with you because you stand out the most, and one of the ways that you stand out the most is because you're delivering the value. Instead of just saying we will buy your house, and then they call, and then the investor offers a low ball price, and then at that point you're just like, you have to get into a bidding war. So don't get into that position. Be a type of person. I talked about this is technically what's called a lead hook. And so yes, Max is super passionate about helping people, but you're also using it as a marketing tool, obviously. But the marketing tool is delivering value. So focus on that, and then I think you'll be okay. So
this guy's smart.
Yeah. So
Listen to him. Tell your friends.
It's not just a book. It could be, like you said, an ebook. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could even be some of these guys that I'm recording videos with. They're basically talking. They're answering questions about things in their industry and not even talking about themselves at all. Like, hey, did you inherit a house? Well, here's what you should do with that. Yeah. And then no call to action at the end. Who do you think they're going to call if somebody that knows what they're talking about and kind of helping them in that situation?
Ding, ding, ding.
So anyway.
Do you know how many other people my customers have called this year when I go to buy my houses? 0. Because why would they call anybody else when they already got the guy who wrote the book on senior housing?
That's right.
The other people can't compete with me,
right?
Because they don't have what I have, and it's just we have a workbook too. We took it to higher levels, but whatever it is for you, like I said, if you're transacting right now and you like just burning through customers, because customers are very expensive, so they know people too. But if it's just a transaction, remember, if you treat your customers like just a transaction, just like a deal, that's exactly how they're going to treat you.
Yeah.
And my customers, how often price is a problem? Never. They're asking to work with me, and I'm not being arrogant. It's because we have a different relationship. Mm-hmm. You're not picking your spouse just because of how much money they have. There's other factors. But if it's transactional, then it's just all about the money. Whoever can pay $100 more, and there's always going to be somebody who can pay $100 more. So that's not a good system. So go in there, really serve these people. Help them deliver real, true value, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, you said you were going to give a free gift.
Okay,
so
here's what we're going to do. The first 10, because we can't do this forever. My book and workbook is on Amazon. It's called Home to Home, the Step-by-Step Senior Housing Guide, Max Keller. You can buy it on Amazon if you like, but for the first 10 people, because we can't do this all day. It's like the ShamWow. We can't do this all day. But for the first 10 people who send Josh a comment or a contact, just send your name, your email. We'll reach out to you. We'll send you a free copy of the book.
Perfect. Well, I
appreciate it. You can learn how
to
do it for whatever business you're in.
Yeah.
Make it your own.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate it, man. Thank you for sharing everything that you have. If somebody wanted to contact you, what's the best way they can do that?
They can email me, info, it goes to me at Savior, like our Lord and Savior, publishinghouse.com. Or they can just hit me up on Facebook, Max Keller, picture of me and Robert K. hanging out at his pool. Just check me out, hit friends on that, and then send me a message. I've been a teacher. I still teach. I like to help. But I'm buying houses too, and it's working. I got people calling me asking if they qualify. It's an incredible paradigm shift, people. You got to get into this. And if you already know how to get people's attention, then take the next step and learn how to deliver the value. You'll be glad you did.
Absolutely. So I'm going to link all those ways to be able to get a hold of Max in the description below. So make sure you check that out. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for this segment of the Who's Crushing It. So Max, appreciate you sharing everything you have.
You got it.
And I'll have you back soon, man.
Christian side hug. Let's go. Let's go.